I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. If you don't like me, bust you. We are producing uh, apparels. A lot of them you cannot order in Nigeria. You can order overseas. We have the Nigerian well-produced version. Now, the wiki and the military officers' altercation, issues arising. Number one, whether you argue, well, I'm not a fan of Wike any longer after his Gra-Gra with Fubara. Number two, I have naval officers, senior retired naval officers as schoolmates and classmates. I hate Gra-Gra. Gra-Gra is show of power. This is a three-part lecture. It's a lecture. Number one, Nigeria is a nation without rules. People don't follow the law. From the way we drive, from the way we make noise, from the way we conduct our elections and we do anything, we don't have law and order. It's a reckless, dysfunctional nation. If you like, argue with yourself. Number two, Wike, Honorable Wike, the minister, His Excellency, should not have gone to that site. He could have gotten a court order, an injunction, stopping the development in that place. If he was sure that the retired naval officer was not allocated that land and does not have documents, he will have gone to court, gotten an ex parte motion, or what do they call it, to restrain that man from developing that land. Number two, he could have called the chief of defense staff or the chief of naval staff to report the issue to him concerning what a retired naval officer was doing. Number three, he could have told the president, they are very good friends, about what is going wrong there. One of the lessons you must learn is that if there is a clash of powers, if you represent a power block and another power block is conflicting with you, and you are the head of that power, your own power block, don't be in the war front. Because if you are killed or disgraced, the morals of all your followers and the reputation will be damaged forever. So, Wike should have sent his men if they were driven away. It is Wike's men that were driven away, not Wike. So, but this show power mentality. It works in some cases, but the Urhobos have a saying, Ogba Koto, that a giant needs to be wise so as to live long. You select your fights, select your battles. If you have common sense, listen and learn. If you don't have, are you sabi? Wike should not have gone personally. After all, the retired Rear Admiral did not go there personally. He delegated somebody. Unless on very rare occasions, you will see in one video here, Wike's altercation and Showonlu's altercation or confrontation of a policeman in Magodo Estate. The two approaches were different. Number one, Showonlu went with a team of people. He was very calm, very articulate, asked the right questions, and promised to make the right calls. But it should be noted that a policeman, CSP, was sent with people not from the Lagos State Police Command to restrain or do something under the jurisdiction of the governor of Lagos State without his authority and briefing. So this is a recurrent decimal of Gra-Gra, use of force and power. It is a sickness. We saw it in June, NSAS crisis. In the toll gate, we saw it. We have seen it in OD. We've seen it in Okwama. We've seen it in Zakibiam. We know how to intimidate each other, but we can't flush out terrorists from our nation. Now, I had a similar incident about 27 years ago, maybe 30. I bought a land at Umoba Road. There's an Anglican church, I think it's St. Matthias Anglican Church. I bought a land there beside a petrol station, a fuel station that was recently acquired by a young man. And one of the days I was in church on a Friday, and I was informed that my land was being fenced at night. When I drove there, I saw a detachment of mobile policemen armed with that young man. No, the young man was not there. He sent his brother using security lights. Is this searchlight they call it? To fence my land at night. They were singing, Onye tinyaka obaragba, Onye tinyaka obaragba, that whoever puts his hand, blood will flow. And I got there, I told them, we are fencing my land. They said that it was their land. I told them, you didn't buy my own side. And the mobile policemen were there. And I told them, you are a young man. By the time I come back, you will see what you have not seen before. So I went and brought my own detachment of mobile policemen. And the one that came with me was a superior officer. And he asked them, who sent you here to get involved in land dispute? He said, it was the commissioner of police. So commissioner of police sent you this night to fence land? He told them to leave. I broke the fence down, consulted, got my landlord, whose elder brother is a commissioner of police, and he's a military, a security man too. We went to the police station and I reported the case. In the morning, I went to the person who sold the land to me. They call him Papa Superb or Papa Obuda, number 90 Azikiwe Road or so. He came and said he sold to me and that boy didn't buy land from him. Eventually, when fellas in a power show, when he saw he could not intimidate me, that's why I always say that no person intimidates you in Igbo land. There's a fairness there. When he could not intimidate me, even though I was an Urobo man, he came to beg and I sold the land to him. It is part of that money that I used to buy land in Ogili here. So it's a recurrent decimal in this country. People will bring soldiers, bring police, bring thugs, break this, and it must stop. We can't continue like this. So the next issue was that Wike should not have called the officer a fool. That man is a representative of the federal government when he is wearing that uniform. He is a representative of the federal government. But I was driving with my lawyer, and a young military man stopped me along the Ogeli Patani, Ogeli Express, Ogeli Warrior Express Road in front of Oil City Motel. He said we should open our boot. My lawyer was driving, so I came down. He said, "Oh, guy, you don't need to come down." I said, "I will come down because I respect your uniform." And I opened the boot of the car and closed it. He saw cassava stems in the Mercedes, and he told us to go. I respected his uniform. I respected the authority that sent him there. But there is something that people are saying about that the young man was following orders. And I went to listen to Lucky Dubi's song. I am a soldier following instructions. I am a soldier following instructions from a man we call the general. Listen, after the Second World War, during the Nuremberg trial in Germany, Nuremberg trials in Germany of Nazi war criminals, there was the London Charter Declaration. And one of the things that was stated there is that you have that every person will be responsible for any offense he or she commits, whether you are acting on instructions or not. And that a soldier, a police officer, a security personnel, or a servant has a right to refuse an order that is illegal, refuse an order that is criminal, refuse an order that will hurt humanity, excepting when it is impossible for him or there is a threat of harm and death. So let's not just generalize his following instructions. The reason I'm saying this is that Nigeria has a way of catching up with people. Wike did not know he will meet that kind of opposition. He used to say, let the heavens fall. The heavens are falling. And more heavens are going to fall. After I swear for our corrupt politicians, after I swear with all kinds of things for them, you will notice that they will start fumbling and they will start disgracing themselves. And something drastic will happen in this country. So, You don't just follow orders when it is illegal. You don't shoot at somebody because your commander said you should shoot at that person, an innocent citizen. You don't do that. I want to commend the officer for his calmness. He was quite calm. I saw one soldier charge towards somebody in the direction of Wike's team. That was very wrong of that person, but the young officer maintained a degree of restraint, candor, and discipline. And this concept of shutting people up, calling people fools, does not befit the status of Wike. But at the same time, looking at it, I respect his boldness to stand there and to create that incident, because it will now get national attention and discourse. There was a day soldiers at Ojota did something to some civilians, and I made a post about it. And a soldier sent me a private message that he was going to come for me. And I traced his name, and I did my research. In my security network, I did my research and found out where he was from. And I sent him the address of his mother in his village. And I told him how he ran out of secondary school in JSS 3, the crime he committed. And told him that in this nation, you can't just intimidate every person. And that I was waiting for him, that he will meet soldiers that will arrest him if he comes, military policemen that will arrest him if he comes. And he apologized. This is the way we threaten people in Nigeria with power. Wike was wrong. Whoever went to fence land there was wrong. The young man was in a very tight situation because, according to my reading of the Nuremberg trial, he could not disobey an order in that circumstance. He will be prone to harm and dismissal if possible, but he maintained some degree of discipline. The third area I want to go to, which might offend some of you, but I've been in this country, I'm most likely older than Wike. If the chief of naval staff just retired, maybe I am older than him. Some of them who are chief of whatever now joined the army after I've graduated, or joined the navy after I've graduated. That is not an excuse to insult any person like Wike did. But we have experience in this country. I understand this country to some degree. If you look at the name tag of that young military man, it is Yerima. If you look at the name of the retired naval officer, is also of northern extraction. I don't know their tribe, where they come from, but you can suspect. You see, if that boy standing there was answering Uzodinma, and the general that sent him was General Okoye, what we are saying now will have been different. It will have been different, definitely. It will have been different. In fact, That young officer will lose his job if he was answering Uzodima. If he was answering Priye and the general that owned that land is answering Benibo, the story would have been different. If that boy was Shola and the general was Adebo, the story would have been different. If you have wisdom, you will understand what I'm saying. What you saw there is a typical demonstration of the totality of what is wrong with Nigeria. We are a dysfunctional nation, and we need to start placing the right things, doing the right things the right way, and following the rule of law. As I told you in my last video, students who were gambling in Osun State beat a teacher to death. Somebody who was a butcher, whose son jumped the fence to drink palm wine, came and beat a teacher to death. Somewhere, the boyfriends of a student that was disciplined came and threw a teacher from a story building down, and the teacher died. We are a lawless nation. Lawless nation. If you are building houses in some parts of this country, people will come and collect levies. They can beat your workers. There was a church sometimes, somebody was beaten to death. This is a lawless nation, and we cannot continue like this. Don't analyze these issues because Wike is involved or because you hate Wike. No, Shanu has experienced it. Wike has his own faults. He should learn. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki. Nigeria. I'm tempted to say Koni Baje, but some wicked people come and say Baje. God bless you.